Good morning. Good whatever to whoever's watching later. I'll do this little dead dog toy pieces. So just yeah, I was saying we're just gonna move through a nice seamless flow today, a little 15-ish, 20-minute class, me in time. So just grab and set yourself up with whatever you want to have for whatever version of warrior three you're practicing, right? You can be that modified on the ground when we get there. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing when it comes to pose time. Or if you want to use walls, furniture, blocks, however you like to be set, you guys can do that. We'll start seated. So once you have everything you need, grab your comfortable seats, maybe a cushion if you like, and we'll shuffle the cards. Very few that are left. See what they have for us today. I stole the dog's toy. She's like in a panic running around. All right. What do we need to know today? My high vibe thoughts create health in my body, peace in my mind, and love in my heart. I love this one. This is so true. It's a good message. All right. No, that's my feet. No. Let's settle in. I'll read the card again once we do, as always. Let's start to quiet that mind a little bit, right? Peace in our mind, like our card says. So finding that comfortable seat, upper body nice and tall, allowing space for the breath. As you bring your attention to the breath, everything else just kind of melts away, right? Kind of fading into the background. So imagining like that slow fade in like a movie, right? So everything kind of disappearing, your breath becoming the loudest thing. Finding that stillness, right, in the body and in the mind. My high vibe thoughts create health in my body, peace in my mind, and love in my heart. I absolutely love that card. And it's so true, right? Yoga helps us generate these high vibe thoughts. So very often you might leave your mat kind of feeling that way, right? Better in your body, right? Your body feels good, that helps. Mind feels still. There's a quietness sometimes to yoga, even if it's just for a few moments at a time. Love in your heart. I don't know. I always feel a little lovey after this time on my mat. I'm just a little happier, a little lighter, because we're creating these higher vibrations, like the things we're doing, like the exact things we're doing, the types of breath work, the poses, all of these things are built and put together and designed to create those higher vibes. That's also our energy. It's the things we're talking about. It's the way we show up here. We're setting the stage for these things to happen. We're creating an environment where those kinds of things can exist. And we can take that high vibe and keep it going off the mat. Right? We learn all of these things that are tools to use everywhere in life. We can create health in our body, peace in our mind, and love in our hearts, no matter what is happening around us. by our intentions, our mindset. I'll spend a lot of times trying to control stuff. Very little time controlling ourselves, which is the only thing we actually can have any control over. Goes backwards to let go of the world around you and just focus on you. And it can be life changing. Couple more breaths here. Really start to deepen that inhale if you haven't already. Pulling in all that prana, that energy, right, to fuel your body, your practice. We're creating that health in the body, right now with our breath. Next inhale, let's reach those arms up overhead. Nice big stretch here. Maybe the head drops back. Really reaching, finding some space through the spine. Starting to wake everything up. And then letting the arms flow back down to earth. The head returns to neutral. Interlacing the fingers behind the back. Press the palms away. Deep shoulder stretch here. Opening the heart. Finding that breath. Maybe noticing how that feeling of the breath changes in the front of the chest here as we're pressing back and pressing forward in the chest and the shoulders. Releasing those palms, coming back to neutral. Just kind of shake those shoulders out, a couple rotations to the back and to the front. Just bring some movement into that upper body. Same thing with the neck, and fall up to one side, rotate around to the other. Just kind of bring in some gentle movement. Just like the shoulders, we want to take the neck in both directions. So after you roll to one side a couple of times, maybe switch it up with the other. And it doesn't have to be anything specific here, right? Just some little movements to start waking things up. Noticing how the body changes, right? How things feel as you move here. Then coming back to our neutral, finding some stillness. Bringing some bends and some twists. Let's start with the left arm down. Inhale, reach that right arm tall, find space through the side body. And then an exhale, we're gonna melt off over to the left, reaching those right fingers, pressing down through the right hip. And getting that push and pull along that right side of the body. Breathe here, breathe into that right lung, right? Opening up this chest in all directions. Last breath. And on the inhale, we'll come up through neutral, right arm comes down, left arm reaches tall, right? So we're creating space here first. And on the exhale, we'll melt towards the right this time. Reaching with those left fingers, pressing down through the left hip. So that's one direction where we're opening. And then as we breathe into the chest, we're opening the front and back of the chest here, right? So we're getting that space, that expansion in all directions. Next, inhale, bringing it back up through neutral. Now we'll add in some twists. So this time on an inhale, you can send both arms up. Create space through both sides of the body. Tall spine. Exhale to the right. Using that right leg if you want to kind of deepen that twist a bit. Right, focus on tall spine, deep breaths. We want to avoid that rounding in the spine, even if that means a little less twist, right? Keeping that integrity in the spine and finding that breath, that's what's going to create space. And think about wringing a towel out. That's kind of what we're doing to the body here, to the spine. Every time we exhale, we're wringing out a little bit more. Last breath. And on the inhale, we'll bring it back to neutral. And last time, we're going to send those arms up, reach. Exhale, twist to the left this time. Same thing, find the breath. Last breath here. And then inhale, we'll release the twist, coming back to neutral, making our way over into tabletop, hands and knees. Couple cat cows, so wake up the spine, or whatever movement kind of feels good for you here, right? Doesn't have to necessarily be a cat cow. But if you want to go for that from the tabletop on an inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, press into those pounds, grounding through the shoulders. Gaze comes towards the feet. Adding any other movements feels good. Going as fast or slow. Noticing as you go, just kind of how things are feeling, right? We're taking stock of the body. Just noticing everything. Give ourselves one more round of breath and we'll meet back at neutral. And we'll jump into some modified warrior three, right? Or some bird dog. So from your neutral, when you're ready, there you go. Be safe here. Inhale, press that right foot back behind you. We'll start with just the leg. Focus on drawing down on that pinky edge of the toe. Pressing through the hands, don't let that chest collapse. Think about engaging with core here. And we want to keep that back flat, pressing through the heel. Find the breath. Next exhale, we can release that right leg down. Inhale, press the left leg back behind you. Same thing, kind of notice that hip opening, foot kind of sticking out towards the side. We want to draw down on that pinky edge, squaring those hips. Chest lifted. Find your breath. About that leg being really strong and active, right? It's not just kind of like hanging out. We're really reaching with that heel, pressing. The more everything is engaged, the easier it is. Exhale, release it down. Take out that tension a little bit if you need to. Next round, we'll add the arms if you're up for it. On an inhale, pressing back with that right leg, reaching forward with the left arm. Remember that hand goes to the middle, like you're shaking somebody's hand. And really think about stretching the body here, right? You're reaching forward with those fingers and pressing back with that heel. Getting as much length. Breathe. Next exhale, release it down. Inhale that left leg back, right arm reaches forward. Same thing here, reaching, right? No kind of like limp spaghetti arms and legs. Want everything active and engaged right through the whole body. Right? Bird dogs are full body workout. Last breath. Exhale, release it down, shake it out, take some cat cows or some movement, whatever feels good. Release that tension. And as you're ready for it, we'll meet in down dog. So sliding the hands forward, come up on the toes, lift those hips, come out the feet. Right, start to wake up the legs a little bit more. Finding our breath, settling in. Walking the hands back to meet the feet. We'll meet in the back of the mat in a forward fold. Legs straight or knees bent, your choice, right? In a forward fold always, whatever feels good on those hamstrings. Your next inhale, nice and slow, ragdoll your way up to standing. Think about kind of stacking one vertebrae at a time, right? Going even slower than you think you should. Letting the head and neck be the last thing to come up. Rolling back those shoulders, coming to land Tadasana. Practice this a lot lately. We're good at it. Maybe the eyes are closed. Taking a breath here. And just taking a moment to land. We're going to slowly float open those eyes. We're going to jump right into our Warrior 3 practice. We're just going to come into it from standing today. So like I said, whatever works for you. We're just going to do Warrior 3 on each side. So if you want to go for that modify again on the floor, or grab some furniture, whatever you like. Nice and easy. Let's focus on our pose, on our posture. Right. So coming from, we'll start at Tadasana if you're standing. Nice, active body, rooting down through those feet, right? Really important. That's going to be our only connection is one foot. So really making that connection, rooting down through the earth. Standing nice and tall. We'll do right leg standing first. So let's shift the weight to the right leg, lifting up on that left leg, coming the knee up high. Find your balance before you add any movement. Right, left leg engaged, right leg active, rooting down, everything else lifting up. Whatever feels good with the hand. Now when you're ready, as the top body comes forward, we'll start to send the leg out behind us. Once you cross that right leg, you can start to straighten the left, pressing that heel out behind you. Pull down on the pinky edge. Use your blocks in the wall. Maybe that foot's up against the wall here, right? And your hands reaching out for the wall. Find your breath. If you fall out, just come back into it, right? Last breath here. And then come down, we'll just let that back foot land, coming into like a high lunge. Just find your balance. And once you're good, take an inhale, step that back foot forward. Shake those legs out. And start to make your way in. Find your Tadasana for the other side. Look at our Warrior 3 left leg standing leg. So rooting down, right? Find your foundation. We always want to start at the feet or whatever our connection to the earth is. When you're ready, we're going to shift the weight to the left foot, picking up on the right. You gotta know where we're going. You kind of move through this at your pace. Find your balance, right? Find your drifty. What's that left foot doing? Are you crimping the toes? Right? Root down. Find stable. Still. Now add movement. As the leg goes back, the top body comes forward. Moving slowly, keeping that stability. Straightening the right leg, pressing through that heel. Top body parallel to the earth. Okay, if you come out, just come back in. You want to challenge yourself with the arms. So maybe you're not holding on to anything. This tends to be a prayer. You can reach forward, out to the sides like an airplane. And same thing when you come out of this. Let that back foot come down into something resembling a high lunge. Find your stable. Once you're good, inhale, back foot up. Take those legs out. We'll make our way back down to seated. Do a little class together. We'll take a minute. Release those legs a little bit. We build some tension, right, with that standing balance pose. And when you're ready, coming back down to seated. I always encourage you guys to do a little shavasana after our time together if you have space for it, right? But we'll just take a moment to close our eyes. Come back to that breath. Back to that stillness from the beginning of class. Noticing if there are any changes, right? And just your vibration maybe, right? What's our card say? My high vibe thoughts create health in my body, peace in my mind, and love in my heart. Just taking this moment to check in and to say thank you for taking the time for yourself in this way. And I thank you for joining me and allowing me to serve you in this way and show up in this way with you. To close, we'll bring our hands to prayer, touching down first at the third eye for kind thoughts. Prayer touches at the lips for loving words. Finally, coming to rest at the heart for an open heart. The light in me honors the same divine light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Great to see you this morning. Regular week this week.